Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Lads Plus Season 4 action. Over 8,000 MMR average, NA action on the line, $500 prize pool. And for this very cool occasion, I have a very special co-commentator, former DPC caster, former BTS caster, former DPC manager, milk expert, anime aficionado, and according to Reddit, the man who killed Noun's Dota. It's Neff Sensei. How are you tonight?
Wait, what? It's a very hefty accusation you got there. But I am doing great. Like you said, Badger, we got a 500 MMR average game with $8,000 on the line. These players are going to be excited.
You've mixed up your numbers, but it's okay.
No, I'm pretty sure they're 500 MMR. Logical Dota, of course, being in this lobby. Low skill, dumb, dog.
Speaking of low skill, dumb, and dog, Logical is our two-time defending champion. He won Season 2, he won Season 3, he wants the trifecta. He's getting so much money from our prize pools, he's filling out tax forms for Lads Plus prize pools, so... You know, he's here to do it again. And he's a very strong team. Again, if you followed your standards, lads, you might recognize some players here from the Yeah We Smoke Meth So winning squad. They've got enough. They've got Jahan. We've got it's a good team name, I'll agree. And then of course we have a longtime logical confidant, one-time Bulljack confidant, Camel Farmer, playing the mid lane over there as well. So it's a very strong enough Marsh team, but on the Radiant side, we have Wilted Roses, not quite as large of a name squad as enough Marsh, but they have some names. If you follow your Lads Dota, you follow even your semi-pro level Dota, you might recognize some names. You have Empyrean Eagles' very own Mr. Lens. I don't think he's on Empyrean Eagles anymore, but you know, formerly of that roster, one of Cuba's finest. They've got Gek, you know, they've got Juggo. They've got some good players here in this Wilted Roses side.
Dude, it sounds like you made some of these names up. Like these are just fucking like George Lucas throwaway Star Wars character. Oh yeah, Gek. Yeah, he's coming back the new season of Mandalorian. We got Bleppo. What was the other one you said?
Juggo, Mr. Lens.
Juggo, my bad. Yeah.
Listen,
yeah,
you know,
Juggo. Woo!
These are all doing Gek and Knives and My Coffee are former logical teammates as well. So this is a logical versus logical teammates match. Knives a current teammate of Logical and Normal Lads, Gek a former teammate, but
if anything, it sounds like this logical Dota player is a little bit of a floozy.
He is. He is. You know, he played with me once, and then he tossed me aside, and then immediately made the finals afterwards. You know, and I casted them.
You're not supposed to. You don't need to talk about these kind of things on air. You know, you can either like avoid that entirely or lie about it. You don't need to say, "Oh man, yeah, after Logical ditched my stupid ass, he ended up making finals."
Listen, he wasn't the only one. It happened with both him and then 2 seasons later, aggressively PMA and Fruit Punt did the exact same thing. So
no, stop! You're incriminating yourself.
I'm the problem. I'm the problem.
With the election so close,
it's
okay. You just need to lie for a little bit longer.
So I accept that I'm the problem. I'm beyond. I'm washed up and old, Nev. It's okay.
You know, sometimes you just aren't able to make that 500 MMR average anymore for the $8,000 prize pool.
We can't afford $8,000. Come on, Nev. Not anymore, at least. We're no longer flushed with dirty esports money over here. So,
Lads was flushed with dirty esports money at some point? This was in the better years of the Dota 2 anime being released, right?
Of course, you know, it's a very good time, you know, post Dragon's Blood, but pre-Arcane was a great time for Dota. And then, of course, Arcane came out, stole all our dirty anime money, and... You know, of course, we have Marcy being picked during that exact monologue. So it's perfect timing there. We have an actual draft on our hands. Pangolier, Shadow Demon, Bristleback, Beastmaster, Medusa, Luna, Pudge, Clockwork, Queen of Pain, Dragon Knight, all banned out, speaking anime at the DK. 8-pick Tusk, 9-pick Doombringer, 13-pick Marcy. Any thoughts on those heroes or no?
I'm a little bit surprised that Visage hasn't been banned out. Hasn't that one been insanely popular?
You know, for whatever reason, we're just seeing a little bit less of the Visage and Lads, which, again, like a month ago, very popular, but I don't know if it's just fallen out of favor, the players just don't want to pick it, either they're too honorable or too low skilled, I'm not entirely sure, but...
Well, again, the 500 MMR thing would probably have a little bit of trouble moving the birds around, given they have to click, like, multiple things.
Well, there's a facet for that now.
Oh yeah, I forgot they've added a couple of those facets for Lycan as well. They added that other one where you don't have to move around your wolves anymore. They just become part of your hero.
I didn't know Lycan also had one of those.
Yeah, it's his. Let me double check and read this, so I don't get fact checked by some nerd viewer like a logical Dota.
I feel like the other Lycan one is really good, so we just never see it. It's like the extra wolf levels, which is, of course, really broken.
Summon wolves create invulnerable non-attacking wolves that buff Lycan's health and damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the other one is just better. I don't know the numbers, I don't know the words, I don't know the descriptions, but I see the other Lycan players not go that one, so it's probably better.
But alpha wolves?
That's the one, yeah, it's strong wolves.
Oh man, I've been watching a lot of Andrew Tate lately, and he told me to get alpha wolves instead of getting spirit wolves. I'm personally a Zeta wolf. Yeah, okay, Badger.
What did you mean by this?
I don't even know anymore. I'm just fucking saying words.
True professional at his finest, right here. I missed you, nephew. You're always a good conversationalist.
If you say so.
It's true. That's why they keep bringing you places. You know, you talk your way into commentary situations. You talk yourself into everywhere. I mean, this is you have the gift of gab, Mr. Sensei. You know.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself. Okay, Murta, big damage, big anime girls on the side of Wilted Roses. Is this going to be the undoing of Logical? I think so. Girls, I hear they're this guy's weakness.
This is true historically, but you know, Logical, he's been adapting, he's been growing. You know, if you look at some of the recent Logical teammates, he's been adapting for that. He's been getting prepared for situations just like this, getting more familiar with the fair sex.
Well, we'll see how he manages to deal with that. I don't think they have enough stuns for like this Weaver Marcy combination. That one's going to be a little bit of a problem. Lich is kind of like awkward with Sinister Gaze, IMO. Cast range that is not great. It is like kind of instant, but it's very easily interrupted. But with all these other fucking debuffs that they have as well, especially if Marcy decides to get like an egg and himself, that would actually be pretty sick this game.
Okay, let's
Anyway.
play devil's advocate here. So again, you have two pick slots to grab stuns. In the middle of me saying that, they just pick the stun. So they have Sand King stun, Blink stun there. You can buy a Blink on Lich. You have Dawnbreaker stun. You have another Dawnbreaker stun. You have two Tusk stuns. I think if you get, you know, Blink Tusk, Blink Lich, Blink Sand King, you have enough stuns. If you grab, say, either like a good slow or a silence on your 23 pick for Logicals here, I think you're fine actually.
I'm thinking so. Do you think Logical's a bad person for like last picking his own hero? By the way.
I mean, it's 23 pick, not 24 pick, so not quite. If he was 24 picking his hero, then absolutely. But when you're 23 picking it, there still is one counter pick. It's at least like 55% more honorable than 24 picking, so it's fine.
I don't know. It's just very odd to see a captain last picking their own hero.
I mean, he is the carry player, and you know what it is. I mean, it used to be a long time ago, you know, young mid lane player, much brighter drafter. But you know, when you become a carry player, it's like a certain haze over your mind, and next thing you know, you're just last picking your hero every game.
I suppose that's true. That is what I've seen historically. Okay, they're taking it out these big damage logical Dota heroes to get rid of the Gyrocopter and the Templar Assassin. I wouldn't actually feel awful about seeing either of these picked up, depending, because Marcy and Doom can probably just both go Heaven's Halberd. In fact, like many of the heroes they banned out just get like hard countered by Heaven's Halberd, which is still a great item right now, by the way. And then the other side. Oh, go ahead.
I'm a little sad they banned out the Beastmaster because I'm not sure if you've been paying attention to Logical recently. He's been playing a lot of Beastmaster carry. It's been very interesting.
No, I have only been focusing on Logical to receive the Blunt of the Flame in this game. I haven't actually been paying attention to anything he's been doing or saying.
Understandable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Keep him at arm's distance.
Yeah, okay. They end up banning the Storm Spirit out as the last hero. They only have the Lich as like the backline. That means whatever they plan on picking here is going to be a fucking range hero that sits super far back, which will be decent against Mars. But you didn't have one opportunity to counterpick this as well. Or sorry, range hero will be decent against or with all these fucking frontliners. Yeah, exactly. They go for the Lina.
is, of
I am not
course,
surprised.
this is a Logical classic. I feel like, Logical runs in certain sort of esoteric NA circles. He's been picking this Lena carry, and he's been proselytizing about it for longer than mostly anybody, so he's very familiar with this hero, played in the carry role, and he's ready to go.
Yeah. Whatever they pick up last year, it just needs to be something that's able to get past all these fucking bulky boys. Dawnbreaker, the bulkiest of boys, of course. Sand King and Tusk. That's an issue. And you have Lich there who's going to be building supportive items and dropping frost shields on the Lena if you try to jump the back line. I don't know. What do you want to see here?
What I want to see and we're going to see, I think, are two very different things. I actually like to see a Leshrac pick. It sounds a little bit psychotic, but
Yeah,
oh my god, it happens.
What the fuck is this, Badger? Why
I
am I
mean,
even here? What's your fucking issue?
I didn't expect this. That's also not the role I expected it. I thought it'd be a Doom Sup Lesh mid. Lesh mid's a Mr. Lens classic, but instead they're going Lesh Sup Doom mid. I guess you get the Doom Sand King matchup exclusively at the side lanes because of that. So,
Yep.
wow. Okay, cool.
Dude, Juggo and Gek are such fake names. I still don't think these people are real.
Gek's a real name. Oh, come on now. If you play like 90s PC games, I'm sure you're familiar with the Gek. You played the classic Fallout 1,
There's
Fallout
no
2.
fucking shot you made a Gek rev. No one's gonna know
I
what that
did.
is.
If you not played Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, they're great games.
No, I haven't.
They're good games.
Aren't they those mostly just like text adventures?
Yeah, they're good games.
Bro's like, oh man, you need to check out Morrowind. That game slaps, and you just fucking miss crabs when you try to like swing your sword when they're directly in front of you.
Maybe you shouldn't try swinging your sword when you step into destruction magic. Come on now, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, whatever. How about you drink some what do you like skooma, you fucking moon sugar addict?
Do I seem like a cat to you?
Yes.
On that note, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of the Lads Plus Season 4 group stage matchup between Enough Marsh, the Logical Captains team on the Dire side, the two-time defending champions of Lads Plus, taking on the Wilted Roses on the Radiant side. My name is Badger. I'm joined by man of many titles, longtime caster manager ETC, Neff Sensei, and hopefully we're in for some pretty fantastic Dota on this fine evening. We'll be here for 4 games, and hopefully we have 4 pretty good games tonight.
Yes, we will. As they smoke Gank out of the base at the very beginning of the game. We see Logical's a massive nerd, bringing his courier just a little bit inside the fountain, so it still gets the fucking haste buff from leaving the fountain, but not all the way out. Gotta hate this guy. Ooh, my efficiency.
I mean, he's here to try, there's literally, it's not one of those things, if you're playing purely amateur Dota, right, you say it's about the love of the game. There's money on the line. According to you, $8,000 on the line, so, you play to win.
8,000 big ones. Yeah. When Dawnbreaker did as well. Only 2 nerds on this team.
Look at Radiant. They have 3 nerds. So actually, they're more nerdy than the Logical team. That's how you know people are here to try, when they're out nerding Logical's team.
Yeah, this is true. Hey, nice early placed observer ward going to scout. The courier is coming down, so it's going to be fairly easy for them to snipe those. What do we got? Snuffles is the pause 4, right?
I believe Snuffles is the pause 5, but it's modern Dota 2. They're both 4.5s, honestly. Over to the mid lane, we see Camel Farmer in a lot of danger. He's feared away by the Muerta. He'll burrow up to the high ground, but it should not matter. First blood goes to Mr. Lens on the mid lane Doombringer, and that's a fantastic start to his lane right there.
Yeah, you can't ask for better than that. He's going to get even more stat items and himself out. Finishes up one of the bracers with the... Wait, no, he's not even finishing a bracer. He's just sending out these fucking stat items, Gauntlets of Strength and Circlet on top of like the 3 branches and the magic wand that he has. God, I hate modern Dota.
He's not even playing mid. So wait, Gek's playing mid for this team? Wait a minute.
Anyway, that's still not a real name in my opinion.
I'm very shocked they have Lens playing off lane and Gek playing mid, but that's Dota 2 for you sometimes. I mean, Gek has played mid in recent months, but I'm surprised.
Oh, go ahead.
Because the sign-up sheet indicated it would be Lens playing mid, so perhaps they lied to the Ladmans.
Aren't you one of those guys that they lied to?
Yeah, that's me.
Let's see. Are they allowed to like play in different positions in Lads?
Usually, yes. In this scenario, yes. But, you know, it's still dishonest.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. These people just have no honor. Not when $8,000 is on the line. 500 MMR tournament. All right, I was going to ask how you felt about Sand King up in the mid lane. He basically gets a free skill point with his innate. Not all innates are created equal, by the way. But unfortunately for him, he went first level Burrow Strike to try and survive, and he's getting his fucking ass beat down because, in fact, Leshrak's gonna just walk the dog here.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been a little more into it if it was like a Doom Sand King lane as I expected, but this Lesh SK lane seems really bad for. There he's dead. He's just dead.
Yeah, Mr. Len's about to die up in the top lane as well.
He's still fighting. Jahan is low. Lens will barely end up being right-click down. Logical turns some knives in my coffee. It is double kill for the carry Lena. And you know what? Logical has a lot of work to do this game. We've been high the tower on purpose. He knows there has to be a lot of work done from the Lena carry this game. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we see a 2v2 brawl there as well. Wake Me Up will get away with the dispose, and nobody dies.
Mm-hmm. No, what was I talking about? Oh, right, the 4 Tusk is what I was going to discuss. That was pretty clever by me. Yeah. When you play like a double melee off lane, a lot of the time you want to do like weird shit with the creep wave. So I think part of the reason why I ended up planting that ward.
He's dead on Marcy, it appears. This is a brawler lane. Wake Me Up goes down. Enough goes down. Juggle's taking a lot of creeps, though. I think he's not the 9 stick charges, though. You were saying before that?
One of the reasons why they planted that ward is just so it makes it easier to do weird shit with the creep wave or do things that like kind of fuck with the enemies when they're trying to play this lane, like killing couriers, going in pulling like creeps to the camp, or setting up the famous river lane. This sort of shit. But the river lane isn't. You rarely ever see that anymore these days. You still kind of see them like pull away for like a good like 30 or 40 seconds though, and then eventually bring it between the tier 1 and 2 towers when you have like this double melee lane. But this is more powerful than most double melee lanes because of the combination of tag team and Starbreaker.
He's trying to bait on Juggle, but wait a minute, the bait might not work. He'll barely get away with 12 HP.
Yeah, up in the top lane, I'm about to see another kill happen.
Yeah, Lens is incredibly low. Logical is right-clicking. It's now a 3rd kill for the Lena. 3-1 for Logidotes. 0 deaths to the enemy heroes. And you were flaming. This Lena player, Logical Dota 2. Of
course, he's died once.
That's pretty good. Only once.
It's 0 deaths to the enemy heroes. Come on, step up.
I mean, 0 to the heroes, 1 to a tower. That's an acceptable situation if I'm Logical Dota 2.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, the reason being that he did that, of course, he wants to like give no time to farm to the enemy teams. He figured it's just better to TP back to the lane after building only stat items and not buying any regen. God, I hate modern Dota.
It's, I mean, it is what it is at certain points, you know. It is what it is.
But Magic Wand, 3 branches, Falcon Blade. This is miserable to play against, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, of course. Because I mean, how are you supposed to kill this dude? He's got 1.1k HP nearly. He's got a ton of damage and right-click damage. You just don't kill him.
Yes, it's 270 attack range as well.
It's a lot of attack range.
Yep. I'm surprised that the Sand King hasn't died again, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of like why he got so beat down at level 1 is the fact that he leveled Burrow Strike instead of like Sandstorm Stinger. It's a little bit harder for the Leshrac to actually fight into the. All right, never mind. Holy shit!
He is diving. Damage. He's zoning away Camel. The ulti is active on the left, but it's not quite a kill. But again, you're seeing the power as you mentioned it. You're just seeing the power live in action. It's a lot.
Hmm. Explosion 1. How much? It just brings down the duration of the Diabolic Edict, right? That's the change on that facet.
Yeah, I think that's the only change. I'm not really, honestly, I don't keep super up to date on the Lesh ones, but yeah,
bring it down
faster DPS. Yeah,
bring it down from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. There's a lot of damage. There's pure damage, and there's 40 explosions.
You're getting like 10 seconds of DP. I missed the kill bottom. You're getting like 10 seconds of DPS in 6 seconds, which is obviously way more DPS. Top lane as well. Mr. Lens is dropping. Slave hits from Logical. And Jahan will right-click down the Doombringer. Knives my coffee will be forced to run away. The Logical is still hunting, still right-clicking, and, well, never mind. It's an alive mark. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we're still not done yet. Respawn, in comes Marcy. That'll be a dispose. Suffles will once again man up on Juggo. Everybody's dying bottom lane. Juggo's half HP. Suffles 1/3 HP. We have dispose once again in 5 seconds if Wake Me Up wants to commit here. But it seems like instead it's a Marcy who's dropping. Snuffles will tag team. Enough is getting very low. Wake Me Up is getting very low. Enough will actually turn to Starbringer against Juggo. Juggo will lose the man fight. Meanwhile, Wake Me Up gets right down by Snuffles. That's 3 deaths bottom lane. No kills for the Radiant team. That's a disastrous fight right there.
Yeah, that is very bad. And speaking of very bad, 500 MMR match. We see 7 minutes coming around. Neither team in position for the Wisdom Runes. Gotta say, I'm not impressed by these lads.
Luckily, one of them was grabbed by Tusk, but it hasn't been a very, there hasn't been much time to, wander away from the lane and grab the runes. If you do that, then you just die. I mean, that's worth it, but still.
I'd like to see them fight into this Leshrac. Anyway, Juggo says enough is enough.
Of course.
As one does.
As one does.
Yeah. Pause for laughter, please.
I smiled about that one, don't worry.
Excellent. Wake Me Up ready to initiate on top of this Firestorm, but he's only level 4 on Doom. There's only 2 points in the Scorched Earth.
Yeah, it's a 3v3 right now. That's a hit on 2 from Logical. They're already bringing down the RC. They'll move to the Doombringer once again. He's got 300 HP, and now he's got 0 HP. 2 more kills from the. That's 5 kills for Logical Dota 2.
That's good math. Well played.
Thank you very much. Somebody has to keep the math in check tonight, and apparently that will be me.
Yeah. I'm not sure where the recovery here is. Like, Dawnbreaker's doing okay, but his hit level 6 a little bit light. Like, maybe you can... Sorry, other way around. I mean, Dawnbreaker's doing fine. She's going to make things even harder when she gets level 6. Meanwhile, on the other side, I guess your recovery comes from the mid lane. Just because the Sand King Leshrac matchup hasn't been great. But you have all these bulky heroes that are frontliners that we talked about. Like, you can just kind of build Blade Mail on the Dawnbreaker and the Tusk, and it kind of ruins Gek's life. In fact, that's exactly what you have queued up as your first item on Dawnbreaker.
Blade Mail, again, it will be powerful, as you mentioned. Right now, Dawnbreaker is just this immovable object. Meanwhile, mid lane, Sand King gets disposed. Snowball comes in from Snuffles towards Gek. Wake Me Up is in the melee once again. Solar Guardian makes enough, join the team fight. They'll move towards Gek. Gek certainly will die. Wake Me Up will join his teammates. That's 2 kills for enough, but we're not done, because Campbell is just diving to kill a courier right now. Looking for Knives in that coffee. But Knives is duking in the trees, but only temporarily. The ulti is up for SK, if it's even needed. And it will not be needed. It's 1 more kill for the Dire side, going the way of the Sand King. 3 kills for nothing. Another win for enough Marsh.
Yeah, so you went from losing every lane except for mid to now also losing mid.
Yeah, it's obviously not what you want to see. Usually you walk into a Dota game, you want to win at least 2 lanes, and you've won none.
Yeah, the fact that Sand King is now up gold, despite how one-sided that mid lane matchup now is, a sign that this game was a little bit toast. I mean, Diabolic Edict, you can find kills with this one. It does like what, 1300 pure damage every 6 seconds or some shit like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, but he's so frail right now. He's frail. He's small. He's just a little boy. Your team's dying everywhere on the map. If you do manage to initiate on someone, there's 2 big saves in the form of a Solar Guardian and Snowball to stall out the majority of the Diabolic Edict after you press it. If you manage to get this. Is what you can sit in the Snowball for what, up to 3 seconds on top of like the extra time to roll onto people. You've used up the majority of the Diabolic Edict at that point. They've just got really good saves to deal with the Leshrac, who is the only person who was doing remotely well in this game. But as you can see, top 3 heroes on the net worth all on the Dire side. I think oh no, okay, never mind. I take it back. We're rich now. 3 bounty runes picked up by the Leshrac. We are so heckin' back.
I mean, it helps. It certainly helps, but there still is a lot of economy to make up for. It's not going to be some...
Oh, well, what are you talking? We got our stimmies. It's all good now.
I mean, it's actually kind of removed like something like 15% of the net worth lead, but there's still 85% to go. So
Someone's a doomer.
speaking of doomers, we've paused from Doom. So it's funny. So if you follow Mr. Lens, of course, he is originally a Cuban, and
What do you mean originally? Did you like transition from Cuban to?
well, it's a long arc, you know, but we had to extract him from Cuba. We got him out of okay, so he got himself out of Cuba to Mexico, and then we got him. One of his former teammates from Lad got him from Mexico to the U.S. So we've moved him out of Cuba.
Isn't he still like Cuban though?
He's still Cuban, but like you know, it's if you're not like Cuba, you're not supposed to leave Cuba. If you leave Cuba, they're not very happy that you leave Cuba. So
I see.
you're kind of a bit of a I forget the exact word, like an expatriate. So there's a difference between being an expatriate Cuban and being like a Cuban Cuban. So
Yeah. I see. Well, now he lives in the great country of America, where he can get as much McDonald's as he wants,
of course,
and Coca-Cola and whatnot. I don't know exactly what they don't have in Cuba.
I know at one point they used to have like a major Caribbean bottling plant for Coke in Cuba. I think it's still there, but obviously I'm not an expert on Cuban macroeconomics, so I'll have to
You'll have to research that
I'll
during
have to
this
hold
game.
that thought, because we're diving top lane looking for logical Dota 2. He gets doomed, but in comes his teammates to save him. He's going to man fight. They're trying to kill the Lena, but look at the Radiant. They're crumbling. They kill the Lena, but at what cost? They've lost 3. They're going to lose 4, barring a miracle. Coffee will attempt to fight the 1v4. It's not going to work. Sandstorm gets the last hits. Double kill for Camel. He's using Epi on nothing! Wait, what? You saw that, right?
That was just disrespectful, bro.
It was disrespectful.
Or did he just activate it because he had the arcane rune right there? That was fucking insane. Who is this camel farmer person?
This is a former Lads champion, current logical teammate, both in Lads Plus and in Lads Standard. Camel Farmer.
Was this the guy that lied on his team sheet and said that he was in a different lane other than mid?
Nah, that's the opposing mid.
All right, Gek's the one with no honor, I see.
Mr. Apparently George Lucas generated character, you know, right beside Jar Jar Binks or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Man, this is rough. They did get logical stupid ass though.
Listen, I think that's a smart move. You know, he died for his team. You were denigrating his honor. You know, he died for his team. That's an honorable thing to do.
I don't think Logical would ever die for his team. You know, I think like him dying, you know, the team picks up the slack. Doom, does he? No, he does not sense a disturbance.
Yeah, at this point, there's the disturbance has arrived. He's inside the ice shard, so tank the LSA and Laguna Blade. That'll be 1 more kill for Logical. That's 9 kills for Lena. That's more kills than the Radiant have combined. Lich gets gone on. They want at least 1 counter kill, but again, Lich is still alive. They'll eventually kill Jahan, surely. Last hit goes to Gek, who has a blink on Leshrac right now, but still, that is 2 less kills than Lena has by herself.
All right, how we looking on? All right, blade mail status is you are blade mailed on enough. So Leshrac's game is basically over. He's going for a Yule Scepter, which I do like, but he's got the blink right now. I mean, this is the common build on Leshrac with this facet right now. Just get on top of them with Diabolic Edict because it's just so much damage so quickly. I've seen like Boots of Travel and other shit like that come right after that, but I think Yule is in order to deal with all these like stuns and the blade mail that I'm sure that he sees on the Dawnbreaker is the smartest thing they can be doing.
Maybe he'll buy it after the Yules, perhaps. We'll see. Right now, Juggo is, well, playing Weaver. He's simply Shikuchiing away from Tusk. Speaking of Tusk, he'll tank the Swarm from Weaver. He'll now remove the Swarm, and there's something brewing top lane. There's 8 heroes up here, but nobody started to fight quite yet.
I don't know. With all your heroes just farming the exact same area of the map, you're going to fall even further behind.
Here we go. Burrow into Leshrac. Snowball forward. Stuns to Dawnbreaker ulti will arrive, stunning nobody. Tusk may go down, but it'll cost a lot of Radiant heroes. Gek and Wake Me Up have died. Juggo has fallen. They'll move to Knives Mac off you. Tanks the LSA from Logical Dota 2. Has another 4 for 1. Another double kill for Camel Farmer. And this time, the FU is used for a good purpose.
Yeah, I mean, the Leshrac just barely gets out of that one. like I think they just barely got out of the Dawnbreaker stun. Walks like a little bit distance away, but your Diabolic Edict's going off, your ultimate's going off, and then Nav just gets back on top of him with the fucking Blade Mail active, and it finishes him. It just feels like there's no game for this guy. Getting to the Yule Scepter, I mean, the components are not that expensive. It's a little bit cheaper overall than it used to be, but his game is in a fucking rough spot, and he was like the only saving grace for his team here. They're gonna need a hero, and I think that hero might be Juggo.
I mean, I think it has to be, but I'm not sure if it can be. I mean, if you look over at his items, he has some
It's a
of
weird
them,
name for a
but
hero, I agree.
There's just not that many. It's more of a side character name, I agree, but there's just not that many items there. He's got Maelstrom, Treads, he's buying a Falcon Blade, which is cool and all, but I don't know. Linus has more items. Speaking of items, Doom's trying to farm his, but he's been caught on the Radiant side jungle with a dire hero. Snuffles runs forward, but in come the Radiant team is a rendezvous. They'll go on Tusk. Chain Frost will bounce around from Jahan. Everybody's dropping. Doom is low. Tusk is low. Lich is low. Zadoomy and Sand King. Mr. Len's already a for Jahan. LSA hits Weaver. Relube brings him down. Now 2-for-1. Logicals arrive. Knives will attempt to use the ulti to bring down anybody. Snuffles already has died in the Tusk, but it's currently a 2-for-2 trade. Logical's still here to fight. He'll turn. He'll now 4-staff away. Blink in from Gek with an ulti on top. LSA hits the Leshrac. Burrow from Camel hits the Leshrac. 5 back from the Lich. Wake me up will fall. Gek is dead. It's 4 kills now. And they'll move to Knives My Coffee, who is right now under the dire side Watcher. Camel can blink in 4. That will be the end of the life of Muerta, I'm sure. Sinister Gaze into Burrow, into Frostop, into some right clicks. That's a full 5-man wipe, kind of. It's another win for Enough Marsh.
Just when a fight looks like even mediocre for you, you manage to kill 2 heroes there at the beginning of the team fight. It still ends up turning bad for you. I don't know how they jump back into this one. They're losing Doom up in the top lane. They've lost everything. They've lost any hope I have for them. Logical. Imagine how their parents feel right now when they see them losing this $8,000.
Probably quite sad. I mean,
they're not going to be able to make rent. They're not going to be able to buy bread.
It's not quite sad. Very, very sad story, but likely true.
Yeah. I wouldn't show up with a League of Lads plus cast to fucking tell lies and make Logical look bad.
Of course, he's here to crush the dreams of people who want bread to eat. You know, he's not here to have fun. He's here to simply take food from their mouths.
I heard that he was like laughing and counting his fat stacks from his previous Lad season wins, going like, "Goddamn suckers, 500 MMR cap." I was sandbagging like 50 MMR before the start of this.
You have
Which
no
I hear is
idea.
the real problem here.
I agree with that. It certainly, there are accusations of that. We do our best, but we're not perfect.
Logical at the 550 MMR instead of 500. There's no respect for the game, no respect for the rules of the Ladmans.
Yeah, I know that NA Immortal has lost a lot of its luster, but surely it's higher than 500 MMR still.
I don't think so. You know, inflation, exchange rate with European MMR, it's complicated stuff. I would get into it for the viewers, but we just don't have time.
Honestly, you probably do have time. Look at the game state. You probably, if you want to do it.
No, I insist, we do not have time.
Alright, Snowball forward, top lane, bind Snuffles, into the Solar Guardian from enough. Mr. Lens will juke to the north to dodge the Solar Guardian stun, but barring a miracle, he will not escape with his life. He's being run down by 3. The Laguna Blade has been used. That's 1 more kill for Dogical Dota 2. 13 by my count. Still more than the Radiant team combines. By a pretty safe margin.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how this gets any better for them. I mean, they split up the map and have started farming. Knives in My Coffee is working towards
hold that
my first real. Knives in My Coffee is back to Lumbridge.
I thought Knives would be more of a Falador respawn enjoyer, but you are correct. The death has occurred.
No, this is a noob moment for sure. No Eyes of Sarah. I mean, if they had Saradomin's blessing, they wouldn't be in this situation right now.
Saradomin's just a weak god. This is not Gothic. This isn't even Zamorak. This is just some dude in a robe. I'm not very convinced.
An old man, even.
Yeah, I'm okay. If you're looking for powerful old man, you gotta go with Gothics. He's just simply more powerful. I mean, Logical. He's clearly praying to Gothics. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, actually, Logical seems like a fucking elf sympathizer. He's praying to Saren.
Actually, it's probably accurate. He absolutely would be.
Sad.
Incredibly, incredibly sad. Yes. If you watch the VOD back, you'll have no idea what we're talking about. But you know what? We stand by it. Doom from Mr. Lens finds the Sand King. It's a very big kill. That's a lot of gold for Juggle, the exact man you wanted on. In comes Vengeance, though, with me up. Attack with Luna Blade and gets brought down by Logical. Snuffles tanks some right clicks. Chain Frost will not bounce around, but it seems not to matter. Self Heals comes in from Gek. We have a chaotic fight, but it will be a Dead Weaver and one more hit. And there's it from Enough. Snowball hits Leshrac. Leshrac the fall. Double kill for Enough. At this point, Radiance, they're going to have to say enough pretty soon. They've lost another fight 4-for-1. Lens will attempt to run away with his drum and his phase boots. Good TP, perhaps. Or perhaps not. Triple kill for Enough. And it's a full 5-minute life once again.
Yeah, well, it's like I always say, decent TP, but not good for enough.
Okay, good news. It's only a
Yeah.
1k loss in the fight. Because they got the Sand King kill, it's only a 1k network loss.
Dear fucking lord. They dive like past the tier 1. I mean, it's so hard for them to do anything. Like dive any heroes right now. Every tower is still standing. This is such a one-sided match. We're getting close to that like 1k gold lead per minute.
Yeah, which is...
You know, the one that you're not supposed to see. The things that happen when you had like... I was going to say Black and Yellow versus like Evil Geniuses, but Black and Yellow beat Evil Geniuses.
Good times, good times.
Yeah.
Okay, at least the good news is Radiance, they're losing on their terms rather than on Dire's terms. They're still fighting, and that's the only way to come back, so they're going to go for
Logical is such a fucking massive nerd. Look at that. He's 1 point Dragon Slave.
Are you surprised in the slightest about that?
No, fuck this guy. He's only using it. He's using it to like minimize his mana cost and keep up stacks of fiery soul. He's like, oh, I've done the math of this one. I tested this for like 3 hours in lobby to figure out my most efficient DPS and map movements.
And you're laughing, but that's actually what he has done. I mean, this is a man who is a student of the game. He tries very hard, and it's going to show.
Yeah, well, I'm not impressed. Try harder to impress me.
At the Arbiter, not the MMR, not the money, but the are you impressing? He solo killed Juggler. Is that going to impress you enough?
No.
Okay. Well, over to the top lane, we're defending the T1 tower. Mr. Lens and Wake Me Up both get stuns. Gek has a back end fight looking for Logical. Logical is forced away, still half HP. They need to kill Lina. They need to kill Lina. Can they kill the Lina? Maybe! Maybe they can kill the Lina! Yes! They have brought down Logical. 13 billion gold goes to the Radiant team. They still got wiped 5-for-1.
All right, now that's a huge influx of cash. Over towards Gek? He's probably the one who needs it more than anybody else. If he manages to build a Bloodstone, he might be able to get on top of all these enemy heroes and like deal enough damage in order to heal himself up through the damage that they're doing. I've got hope. I've got hope.
All right, guess
Plus
the
I'm
gold
a
swing.
huge hater, and I like to see Logical die.
Guess the gold swing from that fight.
But God, 1K.
Not even 600 gold for Dire.
Dear Lord, man. these engagements keep happening where it's like 4-for-1 or 5-for-1, and the net worth barely swinging at all. Modern Dota is crazy, dude.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is a 6.82 adaptation, which was what, like late 2014. So it's been around for a very long time, but
yeah, but like some patches have been worse than others for the rubber band effect.
I still think the original rubber band was the worst because you remember that, right? It was Omni Knight, Storm Spirit, Spectre were the top 3 heroes, and it was a bad time for Dota. Yeah, any meta where Storm, Spectre, Omni, or your S tier heroes can never be a good sign.
Yeah, I think the one after that was like the Sniper Troll.
Yeah, Sniper, Troll, Jug, 6.83, and then it was the stacking clears with Lina and Lesh and SF at 6.4, and then, that's all history at that point.
Yeah. Man, look how scared they are. Well, this is my coffee. At least has power treads now. That's nice. There's so many times where I've seen them activate their ultimate and just, like, try to stand their ground and click people, and just nothing. Wake Me Up is just nothing.
Yeah, Wake Me Up is
Knives in My Coffee is just nothing.
I was honestly staring at the treads more than I was actually looking at the Marcy kill, but luckily I caught the Muerta kills, so that's 2 more kills.
I was gonna talk up the treads, the huge DPS increase. Oh man, all this bonus attack damage now Thanks to the attack speed, you're really scaling with this this Pierce the Veil.
Well, the
No,
problem is
it doesn't matter, folks. I'm just fucking saying words.
You can't attack when you're stunned, and you can't attack when you're dead. So, luckily, in this relatively slow game, we have a question from Twitch chat for you, Neff. Does Ultra Gun or Dota 2 impress you?
Oh, absolutely. One of the Canadian goats.
I see. Yeah, he is quite the Canadian gamer. Alberta's finest, if memory serves, but
Alberta's finest curling enthusiast.
he's actually he's actually been getting into American football recently, which has been a fun conversation with him. But
like the real football, right?
Of course, it's the one where
you throw the pigskin around.
Well, you know, I mean, technically, it's not a ball, and you don't use your foot, but it's just more fun than the other one. So it's real football now.
Yeah, the other one's boring.
Yeah, I don't want to watch a 1-1 tie. If I wanted to watch a 1-1 tie, I'd watch the New York Giants play football.
You know, you'd watch Avalos play in the major. That's a Dota reference, by the way. Dota's a video game by Valve. It's a MOBA. It's a lot like League of Legends.
Oh, no. Or you mean the game that brought us arcade?
But our developers care a lot less.
You know, it's a chance. You know, Worlds just ended today, so now Dota can once again take the limelight. You know, SK Telecom won for the 13th billionth time, so we can get freedom from League of Legends. We can once again take back the scene. So
isn't that the name of like an internet company?
Yeah, like they're like the literal South Korean, like big old telecom company. They own like 10% of South Korea's GDP. It's pretty wild.
Oh, but they're also a video game team.
Yeah, they sponsor SK T1. They just have a Dota team, T1. Remember them?
I wish I didn't. I'm sure a lot of SCA fans feel the same way.
Too real, too real. Maybe not real enough. Either way, it's certainly the wrong amount of real. Mid lane, Sand King's TPing in to join the Dawnbreaker. They'll move towards Knives of My Coffee. The power trades are being used. There's a TP away, but it's canceled by Sand King. Meanwhile, on the Radiant base, they're looking for Logical. They're wrapping around for the Lina kill. They're going to Lich instead, though. Gleipnir comes in. BKB from Marcy. They're going for Lich kill. Lich certainly will die. But they've moved the Lina. It's currently BKB and has 2 lives. They punch out Mr. Lens. Marta back into the game. Lina still half HP and fighting. Meanwhile, enough. It's going for Gek. Gek will get right-clicked on down by Logical. Triple kill for the Lina. And they'll once again move to Muerta, who runs away. And they're not even going to play on. They call it GG. They give us a merciful end to game number 1. And it's an absolute slaughter for Enough Marsh. 48 kills to 14. A 28-minute rout.
Yeah, that's a depressing note to end the game on. You know, they want to at least kill Logical once with his Aegis, and GG out after that. You know, kind of like a fuck Logical when you on your way out the door. They jump on with every hero in Doom, and they still couldn't finish him off. That is insane. They are not going to be feeling good going into game number 2 here, Badger.
No, they will not.
So, I do want to say, probably the worst thing they did was not get a hero that was able to go on the lead. Like some of these other heroes are able to jump the backline. Like you wanted to walk at them with the Doom, the Leshrac, the Weaver, but you didn't have anybody with enough instant jump. So because of that, Logical just got to fucking pop off. And I think they fed those kills in the early laning phase. Logical took full advantage of it and built a bunch of stat items and then made life goddamn miserable for them. They can't let him get away with this again. Not when Alina wasn't even the last pick.
I mean, yeah, it was again, they had one counter pick. I'm not sure if that was the wisest of counter picks, but they stood by it, and well, hopefully they'll have to go to the drawing board for next game. Obviously, if you don't want to see a slaughter 2-0 or both games are just beat down, hopefully there's at least something different, either you know, closer game, or even a beatdown the other direction. Because if you get a 1-1 series where both games are beatdowns, that's actually an interesting talking point. Like, all right, is it a draft thing then? Is it a what happened this time? Did they you know focus up? Did they clear the comms? What actually happened? So you know, we'll see. I'm gonna do a break. My name's Badger. I'm joined by Naf. We'll be back for game 2 of Wilted Roses versus Enough Marsh in, I don't know, like 3 minutes. Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. It is I, Badger, back for game number 2. The best of 3, you were... Actually, best of 2, you were just watching between Enough Marsh, the Logical Captain's team, who won game 1 in Wilted Roses. And I'm once again joined by the same commentator as earlier. Again, former DPC manager, DPC caster, BTS caster, and so on. Neff, how you doing, Neff?
Amazing, Badger. You know, it's always a good time casting League of Lads here with you. And we're going to find out if last match was enough and these roses are, in fact, wilted.
That was certainly the case in game 1. Enough said enough of actual Dota 2. I'm just going to buy a Blade Mail and win. He bought the Blade Mail. He won. Logical, despite your prognosticating on his downfall, he certainly popped off, had a fantastic game, and the Wilted Roses, they're drafting differently. They've gone for a first pick Queen of Pain this time, so it'll be a very different look in game number 1 already.
Yeah. What is this banner that they have, by the way? The skulls and the rose. This looks like either some like high quality custom made art stuff or something that was AI generated. I'm not sure.
It almost reminds me of like some like super edgy manga type thing. Maybe they saw the image and got inspired by the name. Like, oh, we'll have this be our team. We see these like these skulls and these roses. This will be our banner. We'll name our team after this. Honestly, I'm not super close with I think Juggo is responsible for the name. Not that I'm on bad terms with Juggo, but we're acquaintances at best, so I don't really talk to him too much. But
yeah, I wouldn't either. His name is fucking Juggo. Like that's some fucking side character ass shit. Like,
well, the problem is when you treat him like a side character, you can't answer your questions about where's your banner come from.
I mean, when he's a side character, he only has like so many lines of dialogue. I doubt that it's going to include information on his banner.
You ever play again? You ever play? You were dissing the text-based RPGs earlier, but you talked to a side character in those games. You know, they have like 1 billion lines, so maybe Jug has 1 billion lines too.
Unlikely, but he's like the fucking Securitron or something like that from Fallout 1.
I had a good number of lines. You know, Securitrons in general have a good number of lines. You ever talk to Fisto? That dude had like 20 different lines.
All right, I take it back. Securitron was an exaggeration. If he was Securitron, would have done a little bit better in combat the last game.
Jesus. Show mercy, Nev.
You are less than a robot. Anyway, smiley face. Look at these picks: Queen of Pain, Sand King, Disruptor. Well, if they go, well, if the Sand King ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, Queen of Pain. I'm a big fan of right now. I was very anti-quap when it first came out, and I thought the better facet was going to be the healing one that she has, spell life steal. But people have just been like, okay, well, I'm going to build a Dagon. I'm going to do massive spell damage and just clear out the map, farm insanely fast. I think the fact that Dagon gives you spell life steal like complements that facet way too much anyway.
Incredibly well, yeah, because you can just, you know, with something like a Dagon and a Kaya, you're powerful. You don't really need, that's like kind of like your core kit where you have that and then you're suddenly able to buy whatever you want, and usually you're just gonna own things, especially if you're ahead. Only problem is, again, there's a lot of counter picks for the Queen of Pain. You already have that stunner in the Sand King. You have a very powerful silence that will eventually turn into a mute with the Disruptor. So it's one of those games where you're walking the tightrope on Queen of Pain, and if you fall, it could be one long cliff you fall off of here.
Yeah, I'd like to see Queen of Pain in some tightrope, if you know what I'm saying. But I do agree with you, Badger. The Disruptor pick, very good at catching the Queen of Pain, just being able to drop the Thunderstrike onto her and then follow up with a glimpse, be able to pull her back to exactly where she was, after getting vision, is going to stop her from being able to escape. And I'm a little bit worried about the Pudgered Venomancer follow-up picks. This is not a team that plays well from behind.
They do not. But, you know, they just don't get behind. You just don't get behind. I mean, hypothetically...
That's true, actually. I hadn't thought of that.
I mean, that's a very dumb thing to say, but it's true. I mean, I've been on a number of these teams where I fall behind. And it's like, how do we dig out of this hole?
I should have not fallen behind.
We should have not fallen behind. So we started picking these like OP laning heroes that will win the lanes more often, and we stopped being behind. It sounds simple, but it actually kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a hoodwink.
Yeah, all right. So you've got a pretty high damage support hero up against the Vito Pudge. I do like the fact that you want to play range heroes up against the Venomancer and the Pudge. You don't want to walk into melee range, make it easy for them to hook or land like the Venomous Gale and slow you. So Hoodwink is a smart pickup here. And of course, we're going to see Logical pick up whatever is last for himself as the last pick, unless he plans on playing the Bristleback. I know last time that I was casting lads with you, he was a big Bristleback enthusiast. He was watching like a lot of Chinese Dota. Now Bristleback is a real facet to make him a real hero again.
And it's certainly possible. I mean, knowing logical, he'll probably 24 pick his hero, but you have the flex opportunity, especially when you have like these 18 picks, these 24 picks. It's a very important concept drafting wise to have a flex to work with. So you can say, you know what, I can zig, I can zag, I can pivot, I can go to the store even. You have a lot of options, and now maybe you see Medusa. It's like, oh, maybe I'm fine playing up tempo or bristleback. Maybe I'll have a hero who buys the Fusel Blade or has an innate mana burn or something could just kind of ruin this hero's game. That's up to the big man on the Radiant side to figure that one out.
Pause one Wind Ranger with Diffusal Blade.
That's somewhat likely, yeah.
I know it's a lot of people have been running one Wind Ranger. And I think it serves a somewhat similar role to how Logical was playing the Lina in the previous match. I think the Lina's a little bit stronger, farms a little bit faster. But having such a huge nuke to work with in the form of Power Shot will help you secure your lane just a little bit more, I think. We'll see what it is they choose to ban out last. The anti-mage is just like a no-brainer, given that they haven't picked up their carry yet, and they are in fact on Medusa.
It's not just Medusa; it's Medusa with minimal lockdown for any mage.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically, I mean, Logical is probably the most prolific disperser buyer in last history. You could probably go whatever range hero buy disperser and then try to like outrange and outduel the Dusa. Windrunner, the obvious pick, but could be a Lina, could be a sniper, could be a lot of heroes where you hit the Dusa and in that war of attrition you just keep draining her mana, and you have a lot of options in that regard.
Yeah. I mean, you do a lot of magical damage here on Wilted, so Windrun wouldn't come that in handy, but I do like the disable that it offers. I do like Power Shot, and I do absolutely love the mana burn for the Medusa here. So very likely going to be the Wind Ranger. Some other options that it could be. I mean, we're basically looking at range heroes here, right?
Unless Logical really wants to zag, play the bristleback carry, and they go for some super up tempo offlaner to just kind of run it down before Deuce is online. I think that's the other macro way to do this, but that sounds risky. That requires you to like actually do stuff correctly, versus if you can just out duel Medusa late game, it just won't matter.
Razor, Sniper, maybe. Actually, I don't hate Morphling here, depending on what. Oh, wait, banned out. Dang it. That would have been a goaded pick. It's pretty good against both the Venomancer and the Pudge, up until they get Spirit Vessel. But inside lane, they don't really threaten you with kills because they don't do burst damage.
The hero though that understandably gets banned. I feel like Morphling is actually one of the more common bans in lads recently. There's a lot of very good Morphling players in lads currently, so we've not seen all that many Morphling picks. Andy Bendy.
All right, I'm not going to disrespect Andy Bendy.
But there's a handful of guys that have played the hero a lot, and usually most teams will like second phase ban the morph. So like if you really want to like 8-pick morph, if you're good enough, people are good enough at morph to play 18 in this league, but not necessarily good enough to play at 9. And so you see a lot of these second phase morphling bans a lot.
The Slark's banned out. Common Diffusal Blade pickup would be decent against the Venomancer, being able to dispel a lot of his stuff. Okay against the Pudge. But I feel like there's like a lot of damage they can just throw on top of him when he's still in his ultimate. So I'm not crazy about the Slark here. Raises with the grab on Wilted Roses. I thought that they could pick it up on enough and build a Diffusal Blade as like the second item or something like that. But the fact they build it here is okay. That discourages you from picking up a melee hero even more, in my opinion. You just get walked by Razor, puts you on the leash.
And Unreally's less mobile ranged. Whoa.
Logical Bristleback, yeah. So he hasn't changed. This dog does not learn new tricks. It's exactly like what we talked about last time I was on, lads. I'm logical. I follow Chinese Dota. I'm gonna build my weird ass bristleback build.
I feel like Logical also watched a lot of Russian Dota too, though. I think he's just a Dota. He's a Dota student. He just watches the game.
The Watcher.
He's pulled out some like random ass like tier 3.5 Russian Dota player names. Like, yeah, this carry player from Kazakhstan is on us. I'm like, who is this? Like, oh yeah, he's very good. He plays on some tier 3.5 team. He's like 250 on the leaderboard, but he has this great build on Bristleback carry. So not important. This could be a bad lane for Bristleback though, where it's going to be Bristle Disruptor into a Razor and presumably a Pudge. What's your thoughts on that lane?
Not good. Not good.
Again, you don't get linked, don't get hooked. I feel like if you get linked or you get hooked, you're just going to have a very, very bad time. Perhaps Jahan can stop that, but that's going to require some really strong play on Disruptor to do that.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he tries to commit forward on the Razor, drop the link off on the Bristleback, you can like decide whether or not to the Bristleback to be able to return enough damage right away with Quills, or needs to be glimpsed back. You have that going for you, but I'm pretty sure Mr. Lenz plays this properly. He's going to be in like an amazing spot. He's Bristleback.
Well, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of a 2-game melee between the game 1 victors, Enough Marsh, and the game 1 losers, Wilted Roses. Still Badger, still joined by Neff, and hopefully we'll be in for a fantastic game. This is our first of 2 BO2s we are commentating on today, and depending on how quickly this game finishes, perhaps we might have a delay before our next series, but that's neither here nor there for current. That's a problem for future us. Right now, though, Dire smoked up S5 into the Radiant side jungle, and they've right idea, wrong direction. They're playing this this western high ground, but look where the Radiant are. They're to the east right now, way to the east.
Yeah, I mean, something similar happened in the last game. I didn't get to see the full movement because I had to reset. I had that spectator bug where it was just him following certain people. But one side was just on the other's hill at the beginning of the game. And of course, forced the Sand King to get the wrong ability at the beginning. Made his lane hard against the Leshrac. Not that it really mattered in the end, but all right, the moving is fine. This is a unit.
Oh, Venno. Oh no, this could be a very, very tough fight. Venno walked in twice. Like, wait a minute. This is a bad idea. Let's run. We're running back again. Acorn shot flies. Gale hits enough. Lens skilled the plasma field. Hook hits the Sand King. Bros once again to the high ground. He's trying to run away right here, right now. And he's brought down by Gek. First blood goes to Queen of Pain. The fight continues. They'll head to Jahan, perhaps, with about 2/3 HP. He should be fine, surely. Plasma field hits 2. Acorn shot flies, hits the Razor, and then bounces on around. They'll once again move to Jahan, and Hook from medium range hits Disruptor. That's 2 kills for Wilted Roses. They had first blood last game. Now they've got 2 kills. Problem is, they're now kind of stuck in the Radiant jungle. Mr. Len certainly will go down, and that'll be a 2-for-1 now.
Not bad. Worst part of like all of that happening right there was the Sand King once again. Different player, same thing happening. First point Burrow strike now. Although hopefully this time he won't get as punished for it.
Hypothetically, but this feels hard. Wait, they're putting Razor top lane. Interesting. So they're going to put the Medusa into the Bristleback instead. Do you like this?
No.
Why not?
But I feel like the Razor would do a much better job of shutting down Logical. Yes, you were a little bit worried about how quickly he's able to just like turn on you and walk away with full spray and Bristleback. But I think you're gonna find a lot less farm on the Medusa here.
I agree.
Than you would otherwise.
I fully agree. Not that necessarily laying into an SK Hoodwink is easy, but always a hook right there on Hoodwink, right here, right now. Plasma field hits once again. Burrows there against the Pudge. They're trying to run down Snuffles, who will barely run away. And now Enough is inside. He went for the Invis Facet. Okay. You don't see that as much nowadays.
The other one follows you around, so it feels like much better. But this, I guess, it's got more strength inside the laning phase, or at least, for damages the enemy team's economy, forces them to buy a bunch of Sentry Ward, which is kind of annoying. All right, Spooky Ghost coming in with the assist, gets a couple auto attacks off. Pudge is in trouble. He's a long
Yeah.
way from home, just like
No, missed
Spider-Man in
the
that one
hook
movie.
too. He split the wickets on that one. Deny the neutral creeps though, so at least it's not a kill for the Radiant side. Snuffles has the bushwhack to hit Mr. Lens. Lens is now forced to run away, and somebody die bottom during that? Oh yeah, there's a deny bottom lane under Venomous Gale, I'm sure.
Yep. And yeah, Pudge actually died to the neutral creep there, so the gold's going their way. Of course, that means a much longer respawn time. It's like a full 30 seconds. He gets no free TP as he goes down, which should be how everything works, by the way. Baby Dota, people getting free TPs for dying. Not my game.
Hold that thought, because look up mid lane. He smoked on Pudge. He wants a kill on Camel Farmer. If this succeeds, it's so huge, but if it fails, it's so much time wasted. He's being patient.
Sure it's going to happen.
He needs to hit this. He's wasted so much time.
He just doesn't have the angle.
He didn't have the angle at all. You're right. You did the geometry. He didn't. Camel's fine.
Yep. Yeah, Wake Me Up, historically shown to be bad with shapes, distances, depth perception.
What can you do?
Yeah.
And of course, you know, as commentators, we have protractors handy in our desk setup. It's universal, so you hold the protractor up to the computer. You see the angle. He just doesn't have the tech for that. He has to use one hand on mouse, one hand on keyboard. No hand for protractors.
Yeah, it's like I always say: headset, microphone, protractor. Every game.
It's essential.
We actually don't invite people unless they show us their protractors before the game.
Naturally.
Oh, that was rough for the Razor.
Yeah, just run on down there, burrow into the bushwhack. It's a lot of damage, and I guess you're not having Deuce die that combo, but yeah. Speaking of Deuce actually might just die to a combo bottom lane. Glimpse comes in on Juggo. He's tanking the quills. Jahan is low. Look at the mana on Juggo. He simply doesn't have it. If he can live for 5 more seconds, he will survive, but we did not live for 5 more seconds, therefore he's dead.
Yeah, unlucky. I mean, this is probably what they were concerned about happening, in the Razor matchup. Of just like, all right, whenever I want to drop that static link onto him, Logical just able to turn around if he gets enough base HP. He puts a point in the bristleback. He's able to just like turn around and kill me in situations where I should be running him down, but it's not going great for them up in the top lane either. So we're seeing maybe some early repeats of what we saw in the previous game. I'm being a little bit of a doomer right now, but
now things can turn right here, right now. Sentry Ward has been placed. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they kill Logical. Hook misses though. Top lane, Wake Me Up goes down. Now Lens is taking way too much damage. There's Burrow and correction. There's no mana for Burrow, but he's got a wand in 5 more seconds. A wand, a Burrow, he'll kill Mr. Lens. Correction, he doesn't even need the Burrow. Double kill for enough. Sure, they do kill Logical bottom lane, but you still lose 2 top lane instead of killing 2. We're at the point now where, I mean, Wilted Roses, they're our protagonists for game 2. They kind of have to be after game 1, so we're rooting for him.
Are they? Mr. Lens is not my protagonist right now.
Why not?
I always pick the winning side, and 0 and 3 is not winning.
I agree. You know, it's more fun when you root for the loser and then they win. You know, you get emotional investment. Speaking of that, we have another fight top lane, Mr. Lens. Hopefully, he will not become 0 and 4 up here. He'll link Snuffles, and never mind, nothing happened there.
Dude, do we talk about the mid lane matchup real quick?
Sure.
This fucking Invoker is a full level up on the co-op.
Huh.
With like a full level of XP.
He's got 14 denies in that Mastermind innate, so.
Yeah. A little bit of a silly talent in facet. Innate.
Innates, yeah.
Whatever. They're all the same thing to me. Stupid League of Legends summoner skills, whatever.
0 and 4 now, by the way, if you're keeping track. But I was busy looking at the innate on Invoker to watch the kill.
This is what happens in Bruno's Dota and Biden's America.
Man, El Campo Santo, what can you do?
Yeah. I don't know what that means because I am a gringo, but I'm just going to nod my head.
We have something happening top lane, by the way. So, oh no, Wake Me Up went for the ward kill. I got denied by Snuffles. Now he'll hook the Hoodwink. Sonic Wave hits on 2. They'll certainly bring down the Hoodwink, but the fight is not quite done yet. There's Burrow 4 enough. Get gets glimpsed away, and Well enough, has to run away. He'll burrow, and actually he'll twin Kate bottom lane. That's not going to end up. Correction, it will end up working out. He'll just run to the west now. Gek perhaps could pursue, but he's like, you know what? I don't have mana. I can't pursue this. He'll get away now.
Yeah, I don't think he had mana to go into the gate as soon as he blinked. Unfortunately, it does cost 75 mana in order to take that now. I miss the days when it was free. Now they tax you for everything. We can toll booths on the fucking twin gate. It just isn't right.
It's very unfortunate. You know, it's
Yeah, they
not
said
a big Toll Booth
privatize the
fan.
twin gates, and we privatized them, and this is what happens.
It's a rough contract they're tied into right now. Over to bottom lane. Speaking of tough times, it's Medusa, who actually has a Mango and 21 charges. The 1 charges have been used, therefore Douglas once again full mana. But in comes Camel Farm with the EMP mana. It's actually not drained by the EMP. I think it missed there, but it seems not to matter because logical is, well, logical Dota 2. They'll move the Knives Makoff, use Glinstack by Jahan into the arms of 4 very hungry Radiant heroes. They'll be eating some bread tonight, unlike the Dire team who are once again losing.
Yeah, it's that $8,000. It is not looking good right now. It is not looking good.
Luckily, they so this group, every single team from this group will at least make the playoffs. So there's always playoff time to recover and stay in the running. The other group actually has one more team, so the team actually will miss playoffs there, but not important. Mid lane, Camel is being gone on by 3. Gek will end up looking for a dive. The Sonic Wave in 5, but won't even need it. It's one more kill for Gek, his 3rd of the game, but in comes enough, and Snuffles, Burrow, into Bushwhack, into Acorn Shot. That's a streak going the way of Enough, who also a streak of his own now.
Yeah, the only hero on your team was really doing that well was the Queen of Pain, and unfortunately she ends up going down. It's going to slow down her game. How close is she to the Dagon? Still, oh god, that's rough. Still quite a ways off.
This is actually remarkable how similar to game 1 this is. You know, once again, Gek gets the lead, and once again, they focus Gek on the other team and he dies. They got first blood, but they're once again no longer in the lead. Logical. I guess Logical's having a little bit of a worse game than he was last game. That's probably the one big difference, but top lane, Sonic Wave misses entirely. And now Enough is fine. That did miss, right?
No.
It did? Oh.
My goat Gek would never.
Didn't you just call him like multiple insults earlier? Like side character, fake name, all these things.
Wasn't that Juggo?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm mixing up.
Juggo has the real embarrassing name.
What can you do? I feel bad for Juggo.
Imagine your parents naming you Juggo.
I don't think it's his birth name. I could be wrong. If he is, then
If he picked that name himself, even worse.
What name should he have picked, Neff? Hold that thought, though. Top lane. What do you think about that question? If Mr. Lens is centered by Enough. Never mind. Everyone's fine.
He could call himself like Thuggo, and then people wouldn't want to mess with him.
I feel like if I saw somebody with the name Thuggo, I would want to mess with them. Like, come on, you call yourself Thuggo? You're not that hard. I'll mess with you on purpose.
He could, maybe he calls himself Chuggo.
What's he gonna chug?
Monster Energy.
What flavor?
Original.
Not a bad choice. Do they have the Rio Punch Monster up in Canada?
Yeah, they do.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, come on.
Do you like it? What's your thoughts on it?
Don't you know one of my hobbies is trying weird energy drink flavors?
That's fair, but you know, I just want to talk about it. I love Rio Punch. It's fair. It's my favorite monster flavor. It's that good.
Yeah, I'll try the weird European flavors when I visit Europe. The ones with like F1 drivers.
I know. Them. I was there. You're right. So I was in Europe. I think it was end of June, and they actually had
so
F1 drivers. They had It was great actually. I was in a So I forget the exact word. It's bodega for like New York City. It's obviously not bodega in Barcelona, but they actually had a monster of like I think it was Vettel on the or Verstappen on the can. I'm like, yep, that's an F1 driver. We're in Europe right now.
Yeah. We there's like a corner store around here that started selling these weird ass energy drinks. They're like, yeah, this is brand new. No one hasn't tried these. You should buy it. I'm like, yeah, I tried these when I was in Europe. I don't really like them that much. They're like all fucking sad and shit that I'd already had them because they know I'm a fiend.
The thing is, again, he's GG. Logical. That's not allowed.
Is that a aggressive GG or is he actually GGing out?
I mean, he's supposed to like say in the alt chat that he's canceling the GG, or I don't know.
Yeah, he's a disrespectful person.
I'm exclusively a commentator today. I'm not an admin for this.
Can
Yes,
I
I
be
actually am,
Can I
but
be the admin on this one?
yeah, by all means. I mean, I have the power to give you that. Top
Forfeited.
forfeit logical. Speaking of forfeit, Mr. Lenz will forfeit his life for the 5th time this game. Top lane. He actually is There's 3 categories of heroes who have died this game. There's 5 deaths on the Radiant team, 5 dire deaths that are not Mr. Lenz, and 5 deaths on Mr. Lenz. It's definitely not the game you want on Razor right now.
Yeah. Did they change like this guy's lane around as well? I'm not sure if this is like make his life better, to make Medusa's life better. I'm pretty sure it was to help the Razor though, and it's just like not gone well. Mr. Lenz is under the microscope and he's cracking.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not ideal. Perhaps a little too muddy. I'm more of a Mr. Lenz mid lane enthusiast, and perhaps this is the reason why. Get some strong games on mid. This has not been his strongest game either safe lane or off lane. Top lane, enough. We'll get hooked in by Wake Me Up and Dagon down by Gek. Snuffles wants vengeance. Can he find it? Probably not. He's got the ulti, and now Gek gets glimpsed away by Jahan. So it's 1 kill on enough. That's enough of carnage for now.
Nice one, brother.
Thank you very much. It's it's an easy pun to make. It's easy wordplay. It's fun. I enjoy this.
I'm sure the viewers do too, buddy. I'm sure the viewers do too.
And so I don't do this for I don't do this for them. I do this for me. You know, if I'm enjoying it, I'm having a good time.
I see. Self. No, I'm not gonna use that word on air.
Go on.
We got the Medusa working on the big farm. Okay, he's actually not too far behind on net worth compared to the top heroes on the side of Radiant. Juggo, despite the embarrassing name, having a pretty solid game. I think if they continue to leave him alone and let him farm, he does pretty well against basically all these heroes. What are you gonna do with 1 EMP?
Yeah,
not much. Not much.
Again, I'm trying to think of who could even buy like a mana burn item. It's not Bristleback. It's not Invoker. It's not. Maybe somehow Hoodwink buys like a Disperser, but how effective can that possibly be? You know.
I mean, I think at that point it's just like you build more damage on random stuff and burn her mana by killing her to death, so to speak.
You if you can cut around Medusa and just kill her teammates instead. I guess the problem is you're playing with a Queen of Pain, who is never the easiest hero to lock down and kill. Ideally, ideal fight. You lock down Queen of Pain, you kill Queen of Pain, you kill the other weenie heroes, and then there's suddenly a Queen of Pain by, or not Queen of Pain, Medusa by herself. But you know, I've read it up. It's on paper the play to do it, but that's easier said than done in Dota sometimes.
I thought this Venomancer was like gonna start dropping Plague Wards in order to farm the Ancients. I'm like, dude, that's Medusa zone right there. But didn't end up doing that. Just dropped a single one and then moved back over to the mid lane. Nobody makes a rotation for the 14-minute Wisdom Rune on the side of the Dire. Not important though, because Mr. Lenz is about to die.
Yeah, I mean, Epi was committed. It probably wasn't needed, but better to secure the kill than not secure the kill. Camel gets the kill, but in comes Vengeance. Hook will once again split the wickets. Knives TP's in, Juggo TP's in. And now Juggo is actually saved from that TP. Knives and Coffee will not be so lucky to glimpse the way to safety, though, and end up will go down. Sonic Wave hits 2. Dagon's there against Invoker. That's 1 kill for Wake Me Up. Now a 2-for-1 trade. Enough. Has Burrow ready to go. He's holding it. He's holding it. He uses it. And now be a dead punch. 3-for-1 trade. Double kill for enough. 1 more fight win. That will be a dead top T1 tower as a result.
Yeah. Very little way for them to save that one. TP is all on cooldown. Other than the Razor? My man. My amigo. This is not where you want to be.
I mean, he's here anyways.
Yeah, they're just turning on him now. They're like, what's this guy doing? They all just TP'd up in the top lane. They've got no tower up here. Get this clown.
I mean, they're pinging him. They want to go again. Enough, though, is low on the HP. They lack Bristleback and Invoker. Perhaps they'll get the kill anyways. Bloodstone active comes in. Sunstrike from long range is there. And with a short range sharpshooter, it's 1 more death for Mr. Lenz. His 7th death of the game. And again, the categories continue. 7 deaths for Radiant, 7 deaths for non-Mr. Lenz Dire, and 7 deaths for Mr. Lenz.
This guy's tilted. Like, no way you make that fucking play up the top lane. Like, you know, I talk about 500 MMR plays, League of Lads. You know, funny haha man now. But That was a 500 MMR play right there.
Well, they say that life imitates arts, and memes are a type of art. So at this point, it really is imitating this.
God, I hate society.
Industrial society, you say?
There we go. Big Blink Dagger now done on the Sand King. Blink Dagger Bloodstone. Is Sand King killable? The answer is no. Oh, he's got Vampire Fangs too? He gets Bloodstone and Vampire Fangs and Blink Dagger at the same time?
They say it's better to be lucky than good, but enough is currently both, so that's a big problem for the Dire side.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, Dire side, these Wilted Roses are just kind of fucking walking around back and forth. Look over at mid. Pudge is like hanging out by these dead trees. Venommaster's pacing back and forth beside his tier 1 tower. They're confused. They're lost. They need leadership right now.
So you're saying they're wilting. Please clap. Please clap. Alright, we have Haste Rune on Gek. I think they were trying to find Logical. If they can kill Logical, that'd be huge. I don't think they can, but they're going to try him anyways. They know he's there. Problem is, in come the Radiant team, smoked up as 3 on the Rendezvous from the south side. They broke their smoke on Gek. Athos comes in on Queen of Pain into the bushwhack. Hooks there on the Bristleback, but in comes the Burrow and FP to find Queen of Pain. And Queen of Pain is blasted on down. Meanwhile, the Ranger team's trying to bring out Logical, but Logical has bristles on his back. It's a double kill for enough once again. Nice My Coffee is absolutely alone. That's a 3 for 0. That's a rout. Gek says we need vision. I agree, but it's too little, too late.
Yeah. The only saving grace is Juggo continues to farm during all this. He's not that far behind anybody. He's, 200 net worth down on the Bristleback. Starting to fall a little bit further behind against the Sand King. But can Medusa really fight the world?
Again, in a vacuum, in some game state, eventually Deuce will be powerful to do that, but I just don't know when it's going to be, and again, Logical and friends, I don't think they're going to let that game state occur. They're going to run the train, they'll grab the Roshan, they'll take the tier 2s, they'll choke the map out, they'll grab a second Roshan, and then from there, you just win the video game, right?
Yeah. I mean, after they run the train, they run the train on the Medusa. I do like the Diffusal Blade on the Medusa, by the way. Gets Sand King and Bristleback. Quite good.
Speaking of running the train, Veno got demolished mid lane. And Lens once again shows, but I don't think he wants to be here. And he'll leave.
No. Yeah, he's him leave.
Him leave indeed.
I like his Hand of Midas. It's gone good with the fact that he's been dying a lot.
Luckily it does have 2 charges now, so if you're dead with only 1 charge, you can still hit max efficiency on your Midas while dead. So, the little things in Dota sometimes make it a little easier to maximize your eco.
Yeah. Unfortunately, still another 1,400 gold away from his BKB. And that one needs to be finished, like, yesterday.
Yesterday won't happen. Maybe it can be today. Today's a new day. We have 4.5 minutes in this day still, so perhaps 2 day.
4.5 minutes? What?
Well, 4.5 minutes until it's nighttime again.
Oh, yeah, Dota. Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
I looked at my clock IRL. I pulled out my pocket watch and was observing the time.
Luckily, it's not 2:55 a.m. Pacific time, so... Or sorry, 2:55 a.m. Eastern, 11:55 Pacific, but...
Yes.
If it was 3 a.m. my time, I'd be like, where'd the last, 8 hours of my life go?
To Mr. Lens.
Is he, stealing the life? Or what exactly do you imply by that?
Yes. He is stealing the life.
That
is the only way he continues to live on, given his current state.
He actually wanted to elaborate more on this one now. I'm not letting you out of this one. Go on, Jeff.
Mr. Lens, I doubt, has very much will to live without draining that from the people around him.
This is like a static link analogy, or do you think an actual vampire? What do you mean by that?
Vampire.
Okay, got it.
He is sucking the life out of everybody.
You telling me this is the sort of guy, written about by Bram Stoker, sang about by Olivia Rodrigo, that sort of thing?
No, written by wait, who's the chick that wrote Twilight?
Stephanie Meyer, I think.
Yeah. Reverse Twilight situation.
You know, it's funny. I went for a very dated and a very zoomer reference, and you went for the middle ground, the millennial reference. Top lane, well, same old, same old. Razor dead. When was Bram Stoker's Dracula? That was like the 20s, right? 1920s? Hold that thought, though. Bottom lane, we're fighting once again. Dagon from Keck, Epicenter from enough. Keck will attempt the haste away, but there's too much Sandstorm, Sand King, Sand base damage. 20 more kills. Mega kill for enough. I think Knives in My Coffee's dead. Knives in My Coffee is incredibly dead. Glimpse back and brought down with ease. You said you hate me, Nev. Do you still hate me?
The 1920s is such a specific area of time that most people don't research because it was between the two great wars. That's insane. That's like me starting to talk about like bodybuilders and I mentioned Charles Atlas.
I was also way off there. Dracula was 1897, so I was off by a matter of
1890s.
decades.
You bring up an 1897 reference.
It's a popular. Okay, Dracula is a popular media presence. Okay, it's
Yeah,
not
if
like
you're Romanian.
Well, come on, Twilight is entirely derivative of not important. Razor's once again dead at the tire side tormentor. Pudge, Arise, we get glimpsed away. It's probably a bad glimpse actually. It would have been a free kill on Pudge, but it is what it is.
Insane. Awful situation to be in right now, by the way. Medusa is working on a butterfly on the other side of the map. Okay, the only saving grace is Medusa get very, very big and they defend high ground, but I'm pretty sure we are not in a low enough MMR game where they're just going to get baited up to high ground. They're just going to farm the entire map until they've got like blink BKB on every hero as they jump up the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally what you see in standard lads, and this is, you know, a little over 1,000 MMR average higher.
Yeah, these are plus-sized lads.
Indeed, they are indeed plus-sized
the largest of lads.
I've been angling internally to, like, rename Lads Plus to, like, I don't know, something like Lads Unleashed or something like that, but apparently the Lads Plus name is stuck, and we're going with Lads Plus for the 4th straight season.
You haven't figured plus-sized lads?
You know, we used to, you know, for a while we were doing, you know, like, size-based, we had Lads Plus. Now we've got Lads Weenie, we used to call it Lads Little. Like, we have, we're bad at naming stuff, bro.
What about large lads? I feel like that one...
Actually, that's probably better than Lads Plus, actually. We need to bring you in as a creative consultant, clearly.
Yeah, little lads for the other ones.
We have little lads, but, you know, that just sounds a little off, you know. Name little lads, like, eh.
They can make it widow wads.
What's wrong? Find Sand King! Can they kill him? Please kill this man! Sonic Wave hits! He self-heals on Sand King, and they need to kill him! They need to kill him! They're trying! He's been saved by the Solar Crest! They need to kill him! And they have killed him! It's a big kill for Mr. Lens. A lot of gold go back to the Razor. In comes Vengeance, though. Logical from the north side, the mirror from the south side in the river. Stone Gate's been used by Juggo. Logical has been stoned. And a hook! Saves his teammate. Mr. Lens has been saved by Wake Me Up, and it's running away time. They get their one kill. They need to run, but in comes Logical. He's got bristles on his back. Mr. Lens TP's away. The remainder of the team runs away. A successful fight for Wilted Roses. When's the last time I said those words?
It feels like it's been too long, my friend. Too long. And, damn it. Wake Me Up goes in for the hook. I do like this... Eye of Vizier, Aether Lens, Flare's hook build that he has going on right now. I feel like you'd need to pull the heroes this fucking insane distance given how far behind you are in order to actually take a team fight.
I agree. You know, it's always
good.
good.
Come on, you got this.
Oh, that looked good. That looked good. So close.
It did. He's almost having nerd for dinner.
It was Camel, not Logical. Although I suppose Camel also falls into the nerd classification.
Yeah. All invokers are nerds.
One thing is, okay, like, you know, he's more like a 4-don nerd versus Logical's a 9-don nerd. Like, he's way higher on the nerd scale.
Yeah. I can see it. I was referring to the hero, of course. Invokers are big nerds. I myself am a Earth Spirit enthusiast, which seems complicated, but really you just throw rock and hit rock.
Yeah, you know, it's we have a player in Lads, Jay Curto. He plays a lot of good Earth Spirit, but he's not necessarily Mr. Intellectual. That's kind of like the proof. Like, yeah, Maybe you can just play Air Spirit. You don't even have to be Mr. Micro Genius to play Air Spirit nowadays.
Yeah.
I love Kurdo, but we have Roshan dead. By the way, he just goes the way of logical Dota 2. He's headed down the top lane. He's going to take the tower.
What was that ominous laugh, by the way? He's like, I love Kurdo, but...
Well, I mean, I kind of blame them there. I know, again, there's definitely some Kurdo fans in the chat. And obviously, you know, me and Kurdo are friends, but I don't want to get in the wrong side. Last time I inadvertently flamed one of my friends, I got publicly lambasted by someone who was not in context of the situation, so I'm trying to avoid that.
That's crazy. I like flame people every cast I'm on with you, and I've never gotten any flack. Other than that time that I got like proven wrong about who was it? I was shit talking some player, and he ended up winning. That was embarrassing for me. Other than that, people are just like, yeah, that's Nappy. He's gonna fucking talk shit, I guess.
I'm a little afraid Juggo might not be as familiar with your work and might say, ah, man, he's going after my name. But, you know, if you watch the entire VOD for the full context...
I mean, he named himself Juggo.
Juggo's got enough problems right now with the two games.
I know, his name's Juggo. Of course he's got problems.
I don't think okay, if he was called, I don't know, like Wolverine instead of Juggo, I don't think this game goes any differently.
Yeah, it would. I think he gets, like, extra damage if he changed his name to Wolverine.
You know, I actually, almost was Wolverine Pablo instead of Badger Pablo. Almost happened, but it's too much of a mouthful, so I went Badger Pablo instead.
I'm sure you're used to that, though.
Having a mouthful? Well, I'm more giving other people a mouthful at that point than myself, but that's... Then you would then counter with the response of, then you're not used to that. That's a different issue. Long range hook finds Jahan! Can they kill this man? I think they can! Goodbye, Jahan! And they'll look for vengeance, of course. Atos, Meteor. Massive one kill in response. But you know what? That's a morale victory. Like, you get the kill, you get the hook. You put the fear of God back in the Radiant team. Like, oh god, we can die. So, you know, it's like, it's actually a net worth... Wait, it's a net worth loss? Oh. Huh. I'm surprised.
That's crazy. Is that worth and XP loss?
Usually, you know, Rubber Band will give you the lead there, but, well, in comes Logical. Looking to, you know, have bristles on his back. Okay, what if Logical buys like a Force Staff for a Blink Dagger? He's just getting kited around slowly right now. He's buying an S and Y, but that's doesn't... Yeah, that's like a... It's nice, but...
He's fine getting kited around. He just kind of has to accept that it's his role.
I mean, I don't think if I'm him, I want to accept that. I want to be on top of those dudes, causing chaos. I have bristles on my back. You know, Sonic the Hedgehog, if he was a slow character, he'd be very useless, but he's fast, you know?
It's true. I don't know, when I see, Eggs, Lotus, Bloodstone, I think it's like, okay, I sit in front, my team ends up doing the damage, I just kind of go in.
In a vacuum, yes, but in practice, they're lacking the ability to do that. Maybe things will change with like a larger set piece 5v5, but as that happens, Burrow misses from enough. Mr. Lens breaks a couple ankles, but Lucky Sand King has a lot of ankles. Look from long range! It's Camel! Wake Me Up is dead, but it could be fight time! Stone Gaze is active, Juggle's taking a ton of damage, Camel is dead, Logical is running on forward, Gek is low, Juggo is low, this could be an absolute disaster. Lens will attempt to TP, it simply will not work. He's brought down by death. That is a 2-for-1. And there'll be a lost tier 2 tower mid more than likely.
What the hell happened to this this Medusa's like entire mana pool? It all just disappeared instantly. That's not okay. I know like part of it was the EMP, but I didn't see what the other part of it was.
Yeah, I mean maybe he just didn't have like full mana going. Maybe like 2/3 mana going in or something. I'm not entirely sure, but all I know is he lost a lot of mana very quickly.
I guess it was just like activating Stone Gaze and Manta on top of getting hit by the EMP. All of a sudden, you just have no bulk. She's at no HP, and she needs to leave.
Oh, my coffee
is gonna be a disaster.
Dead again. They found Medusa who's inside the static storm, but a save from Wake Me Up by the Dismember Aghanim's Shard upgrade. So it's not a complete disaster. But again, you lose a hero, you lose a tower. They're smoked up on 3. A long range hook onto the tier 3 tower. Please kill this Sand King. I beg of you. They didn't do it.
Unlucky, as they say.
There was no chance of killing Sand King there, was there?
No.
Damn. I got excited for nothing.
Not without the Venom. In fact, even with the Venom, they don't have amazing lockdown on anybody. Like they need to pull them really far back here, and he's got the items for that. But
But then
again, it's really far back.
hypothetically, you dismember, but I'm pretty sure it was still on cooldown from the
Yeah,
saving of Medusa. So
yeah, and that needed to happen. It's a good save. Like I'd try this game.
alright, so okay, we need more stuns. I don't know where Dire gets stuns from, but they need more stuns.
It doesn't look like they're working on any.
They've got a lot of they've got a lot of soft CC, but you need a little bit of hard CC. This is not like again, we're not 2012 Gold Black anymore. We need some actual stuns here.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it becomes very difficult to find any kills without any of the stuns, but maybe they just like keep hoping Medusa manages to get big enough and the enemies will fight directly into them. They can take fights on their terms, and then eventually Medusa just like forces the issue at your towers.
Speaking of Medusa, she's being run at by Sand King as Logical runs towards the remainder of the Dire side. Teammate glimpse back Razor as still they're kiting around Medusa and the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain kills enough though. Back to the Dire base. Logical's diving. He solo kills Punch. He solo kills the Veno. He's out of control right now. He forces out a Stone Gaze from Juggle. That's a minute and a half cooldown. It will be on cooldown. And Logical said, you know what? I have full HP, full mana, and a Disruptor on my team. Lens held his BKB, bit of a greedy move. Look at the kill with the Khan. Lens, but cost him his life. Triple kill for Logical, though, on the Bristleback. He'll head to Gek, who blinks away to the east side. But again, that's 3 more kills. Logical will just be out of control still. He's got bristles on his back. It's true.
He sure does, buddy. I don't know. Medusa's not doing enough damage to any of these heroes right now. Just getting run down by the Bristleback as well. I think maybe before she picks up this Silver Edge, I don't know if she needs a Silver Edge right now, if this is even going to kill off an Illogical, or if you build a Eggenum Shard. That hook really needed to land on something as well.
Honestly, I'm feeling a Rapier at this point. I don't really care if it does nothing. I just, just Rapier. Just buy the Rapier.
On Medusa?
Yeah, it does damage.
It sure does do damage.
It's one of those, I played with Jim for, I think, 3 different seasons now, and, we're in a losing game. You want to know what Jim's always saying? Buy Rapier.
I'm pretty sure he'll say Gamba Seal or something like that.
No, that's when we're in the winning state, but when we're like behind by like 24k gold stuck on our base, it's like, yeah, I'll buy a Rapier. Oh, Andy buy a Rapier. Rojo buy a Rapier. Tint buy a Rapier. This is Rapier time, so. That's just how it goes.
Let's see.
It's funny. Speaking of our good friend Jim, we'll be casting him later tonight. But before that, he's playing a pay-to-play deadlock tournament right now too. So he's going from playing one esport for money to playing another esport for money. He's just he's
deadlock is an esport.
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, it's not quite there yet, but it's getting there.
Isn't it an early? It says when you launch it, early development build. Isn't it in an alpha as well?
I mean, you say that, but it moves quickly. Think about a game like Dota, right? We were having internationals while still in beta, so we move quickly in esports sometimes.
Yeah, how is that artifact tournament coming along? That $1 million artifact tournament.
Okay, that one you have to ask somebody who was more involved in. If you get him, go ask Zexorus or something how all that went wrong. I'm not an expert in the game. I'm sure he could talk your head off about that one, but not my specialty.
Don't force esports, everybody. Make your game fun.
People seem to enjoy Deadlock.
Name one.
Jim. Well, Razor gets caught. He'll BKB and run away. He'll link up the Sand King. Sand King is fine for now. Juggo has only half mana, though. This could go badly. He'll break Logical. He tanks the Tornado. In comes the EMP. In comes the Static Storm. But a save from Wake Me Up will save Juggo. Problem is, the barracks cannot be dismembered and saved in that fashion.
Yeah, eventually Juggo needs to be like, he needs to take his tower's place, and right now he is not doing that. He's just melting way too easily, going through all this mana. The Scotty will help. Will help enough? Probably not.
Maybe the item after Scotty will be enough.
Right, we gotta be quiet here, Badger.
smoked up.
I was gonna know they're smoked.
They're headed top lane, through the top lane, towards top side Roshan Pit, who is alive, by the way. Logical's in the pits. This could be the huge play they need.
It will
Juggo.
be the huge play they need.
He leads the way. He has minimal lockdown, but he has a will. If there's a will, there's a way. He runs into Camel Farmer. This could be a big kill. No detection, though. Never mind.
What is this coordination?
It's a lack of one. Now, Blinking by Gek kills Sonic Wave 2. Sonic Wave 3, actually. But he dies 4. If they can get counter kills, it will be worth it. Problem is, only Jahan for the time being a 1-for-1 trade. Both of them will buy back. It returns to a 5v5 game state. Sharpshooter hits Venomancer. Logical gets broken by Juggo. Wake Me Up saves the Veno. But as it currently stands, Gek will go 4-0, Burrow strikes away. Bushwhack misses. Mr. Lenz is running forward. Logical again. He turns. He has bristles. He's so tanky. It's still a 5v5. Both teams have blown a lot of their load. The arsenal has been expended. But the fight continues. Hook will split the wickets again. Logical tanks the damage. Leipnir hits one. Lenz is running. Logical's running forward towards Juggo, who seems to be fine. Gek blinks to the northeast. Hook, it hits! It's totally from long range! Can they kill him? Tornado hits one. Dinosaur is on the floor. Supple buys back. Logical dies. Punch buys back. Logical holding his buyback for the time being. Dire are crumbling, but they're winning the fight. The Epi, the Burrow, they do nothing. Logical buys back. Gek blinks away. In returns, Bristleback. Once again, a 5v5 sound strike from long range. It's barely off the mark. But Dire are so low on so many heroes. They're scrambling. They're running. Wake Me Up certainly will die, barring the miracle of all miracles. They know where he is. He tanks Tornado. Eventually, he'll die. So it will be a win for the side of Enough Marsh. But it was costly. It cost you 3 buybacks, including the one on Logical.
Yeah, XP and gold ended up swinging massively over to the Dire side there, but at the very least you end up getting Roshan. They'll probably try to push to end with this one, given that they've already taken all the other towers. They're actually exposed over in the mid lane. But if they mess this up, the game just goes to completely even again. I think if they die after these buybacks, they lose like the entire map. Logical's all of a sudden not farming, but it is a huge power spike right now. This guy's got the Aegis. He just hit level 25. He's got his Sanj and Yasha. This is problem. In fact, I'm surprised they're not just rushing the base right now and taking advantage of the Pudge being dead on dieback.
I guess they want to bring in 2 waves, both top and mid, so at the very least it's a little easier to have multiple angles of attack, but again, you are not going to be stronger right here, right now, if you're Radiant than right now. This is your window. You run the train now or you will get derailed.
Yep. You've got this this short window. Medusa's going for a Daedalus right now. I'm pretty sure that... Is that you're heading out? Oh, she turned into... Oh no, she's got... the Demon Edge. Okay. She might be able to get the Daedalus before this next team fight here. She's quite close.
Oh no, they've caught Lens. But he can TP. The Basher is in his backpack on Logical. But he's not TPing though. He's not TPing! Oh no!
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say about that one. That's just like... That's just a fact of life right now for Mr. Lens. You're gonna die. You're gonna rage, you're gonna get caught out of position, you're gonna die.
This is not the game he's wanted, not the series he's wanted, especially not the game he's wanted. He's below a 1 KDA right now, which... And being below a 1 KD is not good, let alone a 1 KDA.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth? We have the Daedalus? We do have the Daedalus on Medusa. Okay, big. He's got this. Dude, she's so frail though. I feel like she need the damage is pretty important, but she needs to be able to stand her ground kind of. I would have rather seen the Scotty picked up before the Daedalus.
Hypothetically,
especially with all the healing on these heroes.
Hypothetically, they'd save her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Easier said than done, but it's been done I think like 3 times this game, so it can be done again.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got AoE Doom now. Disruptor.
Ooh,
that's
boy.
Problem.
Hook! Finds Invoker! Fantastic hook! He's trying to run. Sonic Wave hits Dagon as well! But he's barely alive! The lack of lockdown bites him in the ass again. Wake Me Up is trying so hard to save the game, but it's just... There's only so much one man lockdown can do. Oh,
my god, the range on that thing is insane.
couple pixels more that would have hit as well.
Yeah, does someone have a telescope or something? No.
It's just that long.
Yeah, reminds me of a young Neff.
You know, long range assassin or just long range hooker.
Oh, you know.
I do know actually, but
Whispermoon? There he is. Gives it to Mr. Lens.
he wants his 25. I suppose that'll be good. You know, maybe maybe get the attack speed one to really nerf this bristleback perhaps.
Yeah, I suppose. I think if he gets it, even with the bristleback Lotuses himself, you still steal the attack speed and doesn't get it back because the Lotus doesn't copy talents.
I'll believe you. Well, Logical's taking a lot of damage. He wants buildings, and he just because of Backdoor, he did absolutely 0 damage. I'm being very literal in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And he lost, 2.5k HP. Sure, he'll regen it up, but by the time he regens it up, that Aegis timer will be very pitiful. And again, we were saying that they needed racks. They got a rack, the range barracks middle lane, but that is not what you're hoping for if you're an enough Marsh fan.
Yep.
Of course, if like Neff, you're preying on their downfall, then you're pretty excited about that, though.
Yeah, no, they're pretty far ahead. Earlier in the game, I was discussing the fact that I don't think they'll botch going high ground too much. They'll probably just split up farm. Everybody gets all the items they need. Blink, BKB. Disruptors will already have Aegon Scepter and going for Blink after this. So just like blinking on the Dire team, if they're grouped up, hitting them with the mute and the silence at the same time, like you can just lose the game off of that if you're not careful. So I think that's probably how this one is going to go out after we see a couple more items. Sand King's not going for an item with a very big impact, though. I'm not a fan of these upgraded Blink Daggers.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's one of those things you can buy as like your 6th or 7th item once you've already, bought actual items, but I suppose he's running out of slots. But he can consume the Ags, he can replace the boots. There's probably better items still.
Yeah, I'd rather see him consume the Aegon Scepter than build the overwhelming Blink.
Yeah, maybe he just thinks he needs more raw HP. Maybe he's right about that, but from our vantage point, it's more HP. What does that do other than just give you a little more HP?
Yeah. I don't think it helps him reach the high ground that much. Like you survive 1 or 2 extra right clicks on the Medusa at that point.
Maybe that will actually be the difference. Oh no, not again. Not again. Lens, keep running! Burrow finds Venno. Venno will not... Good save again from Wake Me Up! Problem is, Income the Radiant, they're angry. They want blood right now. Pudge and Venno get annihilated. Venno buys back. Pudge has no buyback. In comes the Epi and the Burrow. Barely misses Mr. Lens, but look at the dieback on Venomancer. So both subs are dead. Neither will be here. And as a result, that will certainly be a good chance at building damage. Dire, understandably, will glyph. That will not kill the wave, the lengths of the banner. And as a result, it's time for buildings to perhaps crumble. T3 goes down. Rax will go down. That's not a good sign, Neff.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they get past the Bristleback right now onto this banner without just losing the Medusa. Maybe the Pudge was still alive, but I don't know. He's just taking so much damage. He's got these extra long-range hooks, but unfortunately, he just can't survive. He just died to AoE damage, in fact. Nothing actually targeted him there.
You saw again the AoE salvo was just so gigantic. Triple meteor and all the damage there.
Yeah, if you're a Pudge and you're dying to indirect damage, it's a rough game. I mean, he's only got 6 flesh heap stacks. He doesn't have a single item that he's bought to increase his bulk. He does have the Trickster Cloak, which is helping him a little bit, but
they hooked the Bristleback. Tornado will again split the wickets. So it's not Megas. It is not Megas. The game is not over yet. And Venno's live in 15.
I'm surprised they don't just go straight for that last Rax there with the other 2 lanes pushed in. But Logical sees all this farm right here, and he wants to grab it, I imagine. He's got Boots of Travel queued up, along with enough money for buyback. This is a sign that he just plans on, like, rushing down the enemy's Rax, dying, being fine with it, and buybacking going into the end of the game.
They tried to go on, and actually, Mr. Lens, I thought he might BKB the Glimpse. He actually held the BKB, and he actually timed it out perfectly. So he forced out Static Storm. And Static Storm is probably the most important ability in the game right now, other than perhaps Pudge, Dismember, and Hooks, so big.
Yeah, it looks like they don't want to fight when they don't have Static Storm. Everybody's going to back off.
And they're fine waiting. They know Roshan can be alive. Problem is, they're going to find out what we now know is, hey, our good friend Roshan, he is hit snooze on his alarm. He's sleeping in right now. Problem is, they don't know how many times he's going to hit that snooze button. He's going to be on for a long time. He's gone for nearly the entire window.
Yeah, almost a max timer. So they feel real clever backing up from the enemy team's base, but this is actually just going to give the Dire a little bit of breathing room. Can they do anything with these extra breaths? I don't know. Survive an extra 5 minutes.
Okay, they can get a free shard here for Dusa, right? If they can get Dusa a shard, that's huge.
She can afford to buy her own shard. Look at her.
Yep, now he can get closer to... He's now 1,400 gold closer to Rapier. That actually changes everything.
This is true. I'm just not sure she's going to farm another, what... Actually, I forgot. All the prices of Demon Edge and Sacred Relic have gone down over the years.
He's like, it can sell shreds. He's like 1,500 off right now. This actually is viable. If he gets the Rapier, maybe things work. Maybe.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
How much disabled they got? I mean, Logical doesn't have Heaven's Halberd. Nobody's got Heaven's Halberd. Nobody's got any extra disabled. They've got a bunch of stuns on their heroes, though. This could still go either way, then.
This is certainly a much more tense game than it was like 20 minutes ago, that's for sure.
Yeah, Split Shot has modifiers. It means, what, you can do crit damage now?
Mm-hmm. You get the extra mana burn from Disperser as well, for what that's worth.
Yeah. Not much.
Every little bit counts in Dota. A game of inches, Neff. Game of inches. Whereas Canadians say a game of centimeters. Bottom lane, they're going for Juggo, but Juggo is quick. A little bit too fleet, but they've called Gek! What is Gek doing back there? He is just dead. Luckily, he's got buyback, though. That's very important he has that.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure what to say. Like, Medusa, you need to start sending your courier out to like the enemy secret shop now.
Only problem is, again, this Radiant Logical unit, they're like a boa constrictor. They're slowly reeling it in. They're making the map smaller. At this point, even getting the courier out will not be the easiest thing in the world.
Unless they back up to go to Roshan, which they might, because, you know, we're near the max timer here. I mean, if they don't manage to break through with this push right now, they'll probably play as safe as possible and go back for.
I think they're just trying to force it to buyback. Maybe they see buyback, then they'll back off. They know there's no Static Storm on cooldown, so maybe they'll be a little bit worried about that one. But going for Dusa. Buyback from Gek. Hook save comes in from Wake Me Up. Sharpshooter breaks the Medusa. Lens has been bashed. He's still BKB'd, though. Trying to run away right here, right now. Get another save from Wake Me Up. That's 3 saves in one fight. How? That's just beautiful from Pudge there.
He is doing a great job with this one. It's really all he can do, though. Again, he tries to throw hooks out for like maximum range in order to separate the team and save his allies with Dismember. He's got decent range on it between the Eye of Vizier and the Aether Lens as well. Right. What's Medusa's status? We Rapiers now?
Rapier is online. Rapier is online. I'm excited about that.
I am.
Said if you don't get excited about Medusa Rapier, then nothing in Dota can excite you anymore.
I know, it's like the most boring Rapier to go and get. It's a tanky ass.
Yeah, you're right, but you know, I'm still excited about it. There's still a certain, you know, you see the Rapier, neurons activate, like, yes, Dota 2 will finally occur, you know, it's good.
My neurons have stopped activating a long time ago. What's the game?
Fuck you do.
I would have to see something incredibly based to get excited again.
And perhaps we are, again, we are building towards the crescendo where perhaps something crazy will happen. We're at minute 51 right now. We are deep into the late game. There's no doubt about it. There's no question that we're in the late game. And we're going from late game, perhaps ultra late game soon.
Yeah, it's a proper hootenanny here.
Absolutely. You love to see that. I mean, this is the sort of Dota that you don't cast Dota to watch 28-minute slaughter beatdowns. Those are not very fun. Those are boring. But
It's fun for
this,
logical, I'm sure.
Logical, again, we mentioned Logical, he is not a man who cares about fun. He's a man who he's here to win. If he had an opportunity to steal bread from someone's mouth, as he has doing in this $8,000 tournaments, he would do it.
Yeah.
He's already done it twice. He's going for it 3 times. So
Absolutely.
we can't go with Logical's enjoyment as a barometer.
I bet you he dressed up as like a child on Halloween, and every time it's like take one candy, he just like pours the entire bag into his bag.
I think
It's
I
like
saw
bad dude.
I think I saw him on a Zoom camera doing that. Yeah, just grabbing the entire bag.
Yeah.
He not only grabbed all the candy, he actually grabbed the literal buckets. So he can't even replenish the buckets. He took the bucket with him.
It's like one like next year, you know, he probably has plans just like we can take candy from like the children trick or treating.
There we go. Juggo plays the high grounds. There's a save for the time being. There's another save from Pudge. Tiny Storm has been blown. So is the Radiant Banner. So is Dyer's Glyph. Both teams are using key things. Juggo will return to the fountain. He'll replenish his mana, but Radiant cannot replenish the stuff they've used. Tiny Storm's on cooldown for a minute. The Banner's on cooldown until the next Roshan, so... They have gotten the tower, though. That is one key bit of real estate grabbed. Logical, with an alacrity buff, plays high grounds. Leifner hits Mr. Lens. Juggo breaks Logical. He'll get Wind Wickered by an ally. And he once again runs away. Juggo takes a bushwhack. Hook misses, unfortunately. Tornado hits, though. Now Juggo's low on mana. Where's the save? And again another save from Pudge. Epicenter Furrower there, but Pudge is too tanky, too fat. And he keeps the Snake Lady in the fights. And at this point, it will be Megas, though. Eventually, the buildings crumble. At this point, again, it's Megas. It's helpful, but it's Dusa Rapier. You can play without the Megas. It's fine.
I'm not sure that's true. I mean, Musa was struggling so much in that last fight. I don't think they're gonna let up here. While they still have this Aegis for another minute 48, they're gonna try to end the game at the very least. Take down these tier 4s and box them into their base again.
Logical BKBs, Hex against Medusa, Lens blinks in with the BKB, linking Jahan. Sonic Wave has hit the Disruptor, and he'll end up going down, but it's a counter kill against Queen of Pain. That's a dieback for Gek. Stone Gaze comes in from Juggo. Logical will get Hurricane Pike to play Mr. Lens. He's currently Cold Snap. Sharpshooter from long range will barely miss. And with the return of Jahan, it'll be a 5v4 once again for the next minute and a half. The tier 4s remain steadfast. Logical Edis for a minute and 13. Hook from long range is off the mark. Logical, he's half HP. Running on around. Lens tanks a short range glimpse and a Hex from Snuffles. Juggo kills Snuffles in very, very rapid time, though. Burrow, Epi comes forward, and there's no mana on Dusa. Where's the save? It's not in time. This time, he'll buy back, but it's too late. Where's the rapier? It's in the hands of Logical Dota 2. He has once again taken the candy from the children, and he wants the game 2-0 victory. Throne is under attack. The long-range hook, it hits. He's at the fountain, but can they kill him twice? Can they even kill him once? Two-man Burrow again. That's a death on Mr. Lens. He'll buy back. But look at the throne. It's dropping. It's dropping. It's simply dead. It's a 2-0 win for enough Marsh, taking game 2 in a 55-minute fashion.
Logical Dota, man, just to do it again. You hate to see it. Mr. Lens had one of the roughest games possible. Juggo was trying to carry that weight. I really did like the Medusa pick this game, but this match was just way too one-sided for that, unfortunately. While Medusa was given a lot of space in the early game, unfortunately, the came at the cost of just like heroes dying like back to back to back. I think if it was a little bit more even in the early game, like if Wake Me Up had a couple more kills, like Flesh Sheep stacks, he's actually able to survive the AoE damage in these team fights. Things would have been at least a little bit easier. But I'm thinking skill gap between these teams, man.
You know, that certainly appears to be the case. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you're
certainly...
not allowed to say that. You're gonna get flamed, man. Just leave it like, oh man, that was all fucking Neff. Try to tell him to shut up. He wouldn't listen. Here's his address. This is when he usually leaves in the morning.
There's a new lobby, by the way. I'm not hosting it this time. I'll PM you the password.
Sure.
It's very hard to figure out the password, by the way. It's a very the most complicated password of all time. So, hopefully you can figure it out. But once you're in the lobby, I'm gonna probably cut us to a break. I make sure that you're in here nice and sound. I don't want to be alone for the series. I'll explain why in the game in the game 1 draft for the new series. But
all right.
Oh, sorry, you were saying? Okay, you're in here. Cool.
Hmm?
But any more wrap up thoughts on the last series or nah?
Yeah. Logical needs to be held accountable. He can't keep getting away with this, sandbagging these 500 MMR tournaments, stealing money from these other hardworking League of Lads players. Eventually, he's going to get the justice he deserves.
One would hope so, but history indicates perhaps not. On that note, though, we are going to cut to a break. We've got one more best of 2 on our hands coming on up. It's the Badger Xiaopangs taking on a final round. We'll, of course, get deeper into that series once we are in the draft for game 1. My name is Badger, joined by Neff. We'll be joined by the next series in, I don't know, let's just say 5 minutes. I'm not an oracle, but we'll get the Dota 2 when the Dota 2 begins. See you soon.